liposuction, fat transfer, how to get rid of that hanging belly without a tummy tuck. No tummy tucks here. All these pictures you'll see behind me throughout this talk will be with no tummy tuck, no cutting of the skin, only liposuction. And yes, the skin retracts back. It's quite amazing. So hopefully we can save some individuals who were thinking about getting a tummy tuck, but might be able to get away without a tummy tuck. That's what we're trying to save those people today. And if you have any questions, we're here answering them. I should have my staff jumping on here. I know Stacy's jumping on. What's up, Stacy? Stacy's one of our previous patients. She's always happy to answer some of your questions. We're not going to have Kale here today doing the Spanish, so I'm hoping my staff will just be able to jump in and help with the Spanish questions. So if you haven't joined our private Facebook group yet, this is an opportunity for you to connect directly with some of our previous patients. And it gives you the opportunity to, it's almost like having a friend or family member who have had the procedure before. So I know when you're looking to make these decisions and you're trying to decide, what's right for you, and it's difficult because if you don't know anybody, then you don't know who's telling you the truth. You don't know what advice to take, or who to believe. So it's difficult, and that's why I think this the private Facebook group is so amazing, because it's many of our previous patients are coming onto this group and have been there for years. Well, the group hasn't been there for years, but these are patients who have had procedures from years ago are jumping on, and they're interactive and sharing. So like this young lady here, she shared her pictures, and you can go directly on and make comments on her pictures, ask her questions, and she'll respond directly back to you, which I don't think there's anything like it on the market right now. I don't think anyone else is doing this. So this is really, I think, cutting edge and helping you as the individual trying to make your decision about how to change your life and take your life to the next level. Now, what we at MyShape do is we are taking individuals and we're helping them transcend their life transformation and realize what's possible. Because that's the thing, is I think a lot of people don't realize what's possible for you, and so you set your goals so low. And we want you to shoot for the stars and have these amazing life transformation results. And I know from experience, I've done thousands of these procedures, I know that the people that get the best possible results are like Stacy. And Stacy's on here right now, and she's changed her lifestyle. She's changed her life patterns. She's changed her habits, and she's changed her mindset. That's probably the most important thing. And she's always positive. And as you may learn from the law of attraction, that you get what you think about most. So if you're always thinking about negative things and your lack of everything, your lack of money, lack of time, lack of energy, if you're focused on your lack, then you are only going to experience that lack. Whereas if you show more gratitude, if you focus on the positive things in life, because there's always positive things in our lives, but many times we just glaze right over them and go straight to the negative stuff. So the law of attraction states that if you're focusing on the negative stuff, then you tend to attract that stuff to you and you experience that negative stuff. Whereas the positive, if you're focused on the positive, you focus on how much energy you do have today. You're focused on how much time you do have to be able to go and make things happen today. You're focused on how good your relationships are. You're focused on, the good things, the positive aspects of your life. And when you focus on those, magically, you'll seem to experience those things positively. I mean, it's just a matter of, it's a time, right? You may spend part of your time focused on negative stuff and part of your time focused on positive stuff, and you want to increase the positive and decrease the negatives, like modulating. Many of you may not be aware, I've been on this journey myself, this path to living my best life, and I'm searching for longevity. I want to live a long, healthy life. So I'm looking into all kinds of different ways and different biohacking techniques to live a better life and rejuvenate the body that I have. So as we all age chronologically, it is possible, just like how you go and you fix your car and you maintain your car, it is possible to fix and maintain your body and improve your body. And not only improve, but the damage that has been done previously can be undone. That's what's possible. And that's what we're realizing as a human race, and the human in general around the world. We're all realizing that we're not as limited as we thought we were, and all these things that we wanted are actually possible. But you just have to do the necessary things to get what you want. What's up, Melody, Carla, Zara, Joanna, Paula, Harada? What's up? It's so cool because I start to recognize your names, and although this is like the virtual world, right? The meta space, I feel like I know you ladies, and you're part of the MyShape family. Yeah, Stacy says we are all family, and we help you through your journey. Jackie Rodriguez, another amazing story. I've been doing this a long time, and I get to experience these incredible stories. And what I found for me personally was that it's like the things that give me energy and lift me up and make me feel better is when I am, through my actions, able to help somebody else, get past their struggles and achieve success. And success is defined differently by everybody. And someone like Jackie, she just shared her story the other day, and I wasn't even aware of this, that she said that she had been diagnosed with heart failure and told that she had less than 6 months to live, and yet she got liposuction and decided that she hadn't had enough yet, and she wanted to keep living. And she changed her lifestyle, changed her mindset, and she had a full life transformation. And it's an ongoing process. It's certainly not the end. It's certainly not she achieved and all is done. It's a ongoing forever. It's constant improvement, just a little bit better. There's always another level to your journey. There's always another level. And if you can look at it that way, then here's the deal. We all are here for a reason, right? We feel like if we have purpose, and if we achieve all of our goals quickly, it's over. There's nothing else to do. Then what's the point of living, right? So what we need to do is, even when we start achieving these goals, you got to set more goals ahead of them, and just it's kind of like dangling that carrot a little bit further beyond you to keep you motivated and inspired to get better and improve. Because as you improve yourself, you become more capable, more intelligent. You'll figure out other ways to make your body work better. It's really incredible. It's really incredible. Today I learned something new. I did a new treatment personally on myself. I did some cryotherapy, and where I got into this chamber, and it sprays nitrous gas or something like that. I don't know, but it's cold stuff, right? Nitric oxide or something like that. It makes you really cold. And for 4 minutes, and it freezes you. And it was meant for full body to decrease inflammation. And it got me thinking, the reason why I was doing this is obviously our patients with liposuction, they have challenges with inflammation after the procedure. And I'm a huge advocate for the use of ice. So I wanted to check and see if cryotherapy would be something that made sense for liposuction. And I think absolutely 100% it's a good treatment for liposuction. It's so easy. All you have to do is just go stand there, and it's like it freezes everything, reduces inflammation. Another interesting benefit that I found, in addition to the cryotherapy, they had hyperbaric chambers. So a hyperbaric chamber is where you get hyperoxygenation. Traditionally, these chambers were utilized for people that had diving accidents, where it gets you more oxygen into your body. But lately, many studies have been showing that the hyperbaric chambers will increase and speed up the healing process. So those of you that are concerned about healing, or your wound healing, or maybe you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, these hyperbaric chambers are amazing as far as increasing the healing process and speeding everything up. So definitely look into that. I know there's more of these companies that are popping up all around the country. So the cryotherapy and hyperbaric chambers, please look into those. Nina says, after how many months can I sit after a BBL and lay on the backside? So Nina, the recommendations for the BBL, and so BBL is the transfer of fat from one area to another. This case is being the butt. Uh, so when we transfer the fat, the idea behind this is that when you compress the area, it compresses the small blood vessels that bring in the nutrients and oxygen and feed the fat. And if you compress it, then it's essentially like, imagine it's like it's choking off the fat cells. It's choking the fat cells off from its nutrient and oxygen. Now, the question is, well, if you put some pressure on it, how long can the fat survive, right? Because we can hold our breath for a period of time, so how long can the fat survive? And the answer is, nobody knows. Nobody has any idea. So the suggestions are just do the best that you can. Clearly there's going to be situations when you may have to sit or might have to put pressure or you roll over or, whatever you do. So just do the best that you can. And the best that you can is the best that you can. It is what it is. So the recommendations ideally is no pressure for 2 weeks and then limited pressure for 2 months. That's ideal. Now, what happened is the studies showed that you had the first 2 months of the after the procedure was the highest potential for loss of fat. And so that's what we call the critical time period. So that's why we give the recommendations is no pressure and limited pressure for 2 months. Now, limited pressure, what does that even mean, right? It's very vague. And it's vague on purpose because the truth is, as I said, nobody really knows how much pressure you can put on or not put on. Nobody knows. So I say the recommendations and I want you to just understand why you're doing what you're doing, because if you understand why you're doing what you're doing, then you might be more likely to follow the rules and be more cognizant of putting pressure on the area. And that's the idea. We want you to be aware, conscious. Okay, B. Foster. Are your love handles considered one area? What's considered one area? So B. Foster, you must be following us for a long time, but you missed out on this recent thing that we changed. We changed our whole pricing structure. So the area structure that you're referring to doesn't exist anymore. For our current pricing, you can go get this quick quote. This instant quick quote is so awesome. So awesome. And all you have to do is just go click the link above, or you go to our website. You go in there, put your information in, including your your height and your weight, and based off of your BMI, we can create a volume. We know the volume of fat that we need to remove, which gives us an idea of how large you are, and then we price it based off of that. So it gives you a basic idea of our more common procedures. Then if you're serious and you think you want to move forward, then the next step is getting your formal consultation. So the idea behind why we want people to get a formal consultation is simply this. It's for your own good. It's for your own safety. And our goal is to make sure that you are able to transition this life transformation. And that's going to include us speaking to you, making sure that we're both on the same page, because I already know the people that do the best. And so I want to make sure that you're on the same plane with these people and you understand how you can succeed. And so that communication I think is pivotal. And not only that, it's important that we discuss the plan beforehand, because otherwise, if you bypass speaking to me or Kale, if you bypass that, then you risk the chance of showing up the day of the procedure, and we might change things because we don't agree with what you scheduled. A lot of times it has to do with our experience based off of treating different things. For example, some people will want to treat isolated areas, which the results would not be good, and it's not in their best interest. So it's our job to step forward and to kind of explain the consequences of what is going to be done and what the expectations of results might be. And so again, it's really in your best interest that you just speak with us directly, and so that's where the formal consultation. And obviously our time is valuable and we can't speak to everybody. I want to speak to all of our patients, but we can't speak to everybody. So if you're committed to working with us, then the formal consultation is $100, and you get 15 to 30 minutes of my time, which I think is way more valuable than that. All right, man, Rebecca's in full effect, answering questions. All right, we got some Spanish speakers asking questions, and it doesn't look like my staff has jumped on yet. Stacy says that she was able to fit into a medium dress. It's a little tight, but the fact that I could put it on is amazing. Yeah, it's super cool. And these are like these little milestones, right, Stacy? And the funny thing is it's like today it's a medium, and it is what it is. It's super exciting. And then you have a medium from now on, and it becomes normal, and now it's your new normal. So it's kind of like resetting the level of your mindset, and when you reset yourself like that, you start thinking like a person that fits into the size medium, and it's different thoughts. It's crazy. It's different thoughts because a person that is like covering up in these big moo cover things, it's a totally different mindset than the person's wearing this slim fit black dress. Totally different. Totally different. You might be going to the same place, but this person is looked at completely different. And it's just, it's just perspective. It's just perspective. And we might say, don't judge somebody, but the truth is we all judge people, and it happens really on an unconscious level. And it's not to say that, it's bad. It just is. It is what it is. People judge on an unconscious level, and they have their expectations because that's what the human brain does. It finds things and commonalities and says, okay, this person is like this, so I remember other people like this, and so this person is probably similar to that person. And it's just like we compare. This is the way the brain works. It is what it is. But when you have someone that's can wear clothes that are fitted, it's a different mentality. In our society, we think differently of people like that. I'm not saying it's good, it's bad, it's right, it's wrong, but it is what it is, right? So I'm just taking advantage of the mind that people have, right? So we create these and we create these proportions on people, and it's it's not that proportions, you don't have to be like a specific number, like a specific size, like measurement. It's not about that. It's more about the proportions. And so visually, when you see an individual, it's they want to be bigger up top, smaller in the middle, bigger down below. That's the general proportions, right? And when you can hit that proportion properly, it doesn't matter whether you're 250 pounds. If you hit that proportion properly, you look good. It's beautiful. We consider it beautiful in our society. So even these larger individuals now, it's considered beautiful because the proportions are right. The assets are shown properly. So what do I mean by assets? When we do like 360 lipo, right? We clean out the whole abdomen, that belly that's folding over. We create that hourglass figure, and we shape that lower back where you fill in that fat in the lower back. We create that natural arch. It shapes the butt, makes the butt pop out, because imagine if you had this thick layer of fat on the lower back, and it makes it look like the butt is flat. So you take out that thick layer, and we create that natural arch, and it pops out the butt. When it pops out the butt, that's the asset I'm talking about. We want to get the assets that are important, where we want people's vision to go to. We get the butt to pop out. By taking away the belly, sometimes when you turn around to the side, and the belly is sticking out further than the breast, that's the proportion we need to change. That's not good. When you wear any shirt, then it means that the focus is not on the breast, the focus is on the belly. That's the wrong asset. So we want to take the belly away, focus on the breast. Simple. And look at this picture here. You take away the belly, all of a sudden the breast looks significantly larger. The breast did not change in any size, shape, or form. This is an illusion. We just took away the belly. You take away the bad stuff and the good stuff looks better. Bonus.
Be sure to tell them to share.
Yeah, don't forget to share. These are things I'm sharing secrets with you and showing you what's possible. And I think it's important to say that if you have any friends or family that struggle, and a lot of this is a psychological struggle, and it stems from the physical. And so if we can address the physical, sometimes you can help them psychologically. Not all, but that's why we push for this change, this lifestyle change, and we're helping everybody to live a better life. And that's the goal, right? And everybody's at the different part of the journey. Some people are further along than others. Some people, are far behind. But we help each way along the road, and whatever that individual needs. But it's important, I think, that if you found us and you made it here, then it's important for you to take this information and share it with other people that it can help. And we call that paying it forward, because I think it's important to share what you get. And I heard this described in a really amazing way, in that if you can think of yourself like a cup, right? And when water is poured into the cup, that's like knowledge and information. Okay, and when your cup is full, if you say, I already know too much, I know everything, right? If you get to be that person, like I know everything, then you're not open to learn anything else. You're not open to learn anything else. But in contrast, if you take that knowledge, that water, and you pour out to other people, you give out, right? So I took in all this knowledge, I learned all this stuff from all my experiences, people that taught me stuff. I know all these things. Now that I know this information, I have to share other people, I have to give out. And once you pour that knowledge out to other people, now your cup is open and ready for more knowledge. It's amazing how this stuff works. It's amazing, I'm telling you. But when you start sharing and giving, it comes right back to you in tenfold. And this is, again, is part of the whole process of life transformation. And some people like Stacy are figuring that out, and that's why she's trying to give so much, because she knows the more she gives, the more she gets back. And the same thing will work for you. It's not magic. It's like the laws of nature. This stuff just works. You don't have to understand how or why. Just do and see what happens. I mean, Stacy is clearly, and Rebecca, they're clear representations of what is possible. So you need to start utilizing these individuals for what they are. They are examples. They're like shining lights on the path. They've gone through this pathway to get where they are, and they're turning around with a big light and saying, "Oh, look at this! This is all you have to do. Just follow the path. Do what I did. Act like I act. Just do the same things, and you'll get the same similar success." Okay, it's not like recreation of the wheel here. You don't have to figure this stuff out. You don't have to be like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. It's clear. We've already seen it. And through our journey section on our website and through the Facebook group, it's easy. You can see the path. It's easy. And there's a lot of people. You can find somebody that's just like you. They may have had a bunch of kids or stretch marks. They may be older. They may be younger. They might be, whatever colors, whatever. You're gonna find somebody that's just like you, I promise. Lo siento español. Llamar our office. Sorry, my Spanish sucks. What's up, Stacy? She said it's been, you haven't been in a medium since high school. Isn't that fun? I too did the same. In fact, when I was in high school, I was skinny. I was about the same size as I am now, but when I was in high school, it was about wearing baggy clothes, right? So we wore like oversized baggy clothes, and I was like a skinny rail. But it's cool being back the same size that I was in high school. It's fun. It really is. I feel like I have the energy that I had back then. I have the flexibility. And so it's really all about functionality. And this year, in a couple days, in about a week now, I'm going to be turning 45, the big 45. And all my friends are talking about, oh, I feel old and I can't do stuff. And I'm like, you guys are crazy. This life is great. We have so much opportunity, and I'm so, for the things that I've done, it's kept me healthy, it's kept me strong, it's kept me full of energy and able to do the things that I do. I'm very active. I still do sports. I play soccer, I snowboard. I'm able to do things with my kids who are young. I'm more active than my kids. So it's possible for anybody. And I'm here just to kind of show as an example. You may not want to push as hard as I have, that's fine. But I'm here to show you an example of what's possible, what's reasonable and has been done. And I'll show you how I've done it. Paula says, I'm so happy. I'm working on my anemia with low iron. I'm still going to see you soon. Waiting patiently. Okay. Yeah, the anemia is something, a lot of girls have, and it may be related to the cycle. So it can be treated with iron, and I'm sure there's other things that you're looking into. But it's not something that precludes you from getting the procedure. It's just it's kind of like a stumbling block. You know, we just got to get past it. So we got to raise your blood levels up, and then we can go ahead and move forward. Jackie says, I'm working on a slideshow to share my story. That's awesome. I love seeing that stuff. Okay, so Susie's in the house making some Spanish answers, I think. No. Yeah, I hope so. Susie's one of our employees. What's up, Elsie? Elsie had some amazing results. It's so cool that these girls keep coming back to share their stories, to you know, interact and engage with our other people who are interested. It's nice. I know when you're looking into getting a procedure like this, it's nice to be able to talk to somebody who's actually had the procedure. Because it sucks when you're that only person. Your parents and your friends and family are like, don't do that, that's crazy, what are you talking about, you don't need to do that. And those are the people that don't know anything, right? And so you need to isolate yourself from them, block off, so they can't affect you, because those people are the ones that are going to stop you, just like they've stopped you from doing everything else in your life, right? Those are the haters, the ones that tell you can't, you shouldn't, don't. And when you listen to them, nothing happens in your life. And maybe you've been listening to those type of people, and they've slowed you down. They've stopped you from achieving anything in your life. So at some point, you need to be like, boom, big block. You know, throw up a block and stop these people. Stop listening. Stop listening to the media. You know, the media is brainwashing us, right? So you got to get isolated and with people who will help you to make better decisions. People who are in the same situation that you've been in, and that you're in, and again have gotten past that. And so that's what the group is awesome. So go to the private Facebook group, My Shape Lipo Support Group, and start getting past these barriers that you might have to your own success. Because we all have them. When we're looking to make some big changes in our lives, there's going to be these barriers. And what do the barriers mean? Like oh, it's I don't know how much it's going to cost. Okay, boom. Okay, go get your quick quote. Now you know what it's going to cost. Cool. Well, I'm worried. Someone told me I was going to have loose skin. Okay, cool. Go look at all these pictures of these people, how well the skin tightens up. Get your formal consultation. Get all your questions answered, and we can explain to you what's possible for you. Right? So we want to get all these questions answered for you to make it easy. This should not be a complex. It shouldn't be difficult. It should be, I want this. I know how it can be done. I've seen how it's possible. I've talked to other people who have gotten it done. I know that these are real people and they were getting real results. I know that this thing's possible. I want it. Boom, move forward. Now, next thing you know, your life is changing. It's changing, right? And it's a process. It's ongoing. Oh, thank you. Lily says, I've definitely done so much good for so many people. Keep trying. That's what keeps me going every day. It's like my fuel. What's up, Jennifer, Martinez, Diana, Monica said, do you do fat transfer to the breast after lipo? Absolutely. So fat transfer to the breast, we can do fat transfer technically to any part of your body. The most common would be the breast and the butt. Fat transfer is an awesome procedure. It's very natural and is different in contrast to implants, because when you get implants, you're getting like these little bags, these little sacks of saline. And the good thing about that is that it's a uniform shape. Bad thing about that is it's a uniform shape. It looks fake. It's perfect. So if you had like misshapen, weird breasts, then maybe getting a perfect shape might be something appealing to you. With fat transfer is just inflating the balloon that you already have. And so I always say this, to people, is like if you had a Mickey Mouse balloon that's shaped like Mickey Mouse, it doesn't matter how much air you put in or take out, it's still gonna be shaped like a Mickey Mouse balloon. So the breasts are the same way. We can inflate or deflate, but the shape is, a lot of the shape is just part of you. So we're just increasing the volume. But the nice thing is that when you get these girls that lose the volume, so they had nice shaped breasts, they just lost volume, maybe you breastfeeding or you had kids, you get these sloping. We can fill the breast up top, so you got more volume. So when you can create more cleavage and do things with the bras. What's up, Rosalva? Welcome. I appreciate you for stopping by today, all of you. Hope I can give you some valuable answers here. Stacy, thank you for jumping on. I appreciate you. And any of you who want to talk to our previous patient, Stacy's one of the most amazing people. She's so, polite and positive, and it's always a pleasure dealing with her. Sarah says, Mimi, I want this. So the next step, if you guys are serious about doing something like this, and even if you're not serious, just go get the quick quote. It's really, we've made this so simple where you can get the pricing of the procedures and just have an idea of what it's going to cost you. So that will kind of, allow you to start planning for the future, right? And sometimes maybe you're ready today. Maybe it's like, hey, I got that money, I can do this. And life can change for me like quickly, quick. Or you might say, okay, I don't have that money, so we got to start saving. We got to figure out a plan. We're going to put things away and plan on this maybe like a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, 3 years from now, whatever the case for you. But start making the plans. If you don't plan to succeed, then you plan to fail. And that's the way everything in life works. If you don't have a plan to achieve something, then you're just going to go with the flow, and whatever happens, happens. And that might be good, it might be bad, but you don't really have any control of it. But if you can open your eyes and become conscious and aware of what's going on around you, you can actually start changing things. It's a really cool thing. We can start making changes to our body by simple habits. It's almost like reprogramming the body, reprogramming the mind. See, what we found as humans is just like a computer, we run programs. And so what am I talking about with these programs? These are, we refer to these as habits. Okay, so like brushing our teeth. Every morning I get up, I brush my teeth. I not only brush my teeth every morning at the same time, but I have the same pattern. It's the exact same pattern. It's almost like it's a computer program that my mind runs, and it's brushing teeth time. Okay, boom, I do my brushing teeth, and it's the same pattern every single time. Okay, so if we know that our mind already works in these patterns, these programs, then we can therefore program our mind into new patterns. Now, then it's about identifying the negative stuff, the negative patterns and habits that we've created over the years that are not serving us anymore, and trying to eliminate those, like perhaps maybe that's drinking sodas, or eating too much bread or too much meat, or maybe it's that you just got in the habit of being sedentary and not moving. Whatever the habits are, it's eliminating the negative stuff and then start layering on and adding new positive habits. And these are the new patterns that are literally programming your brain. And once you program your brain and you created a habit, they say it takes about 30 to 60 days to instill a habit to where it becomes natural and you don't have to think about it anymore. And so you can program yourself 30 to 60 days, and then all of a sudden it's like, this is the new you. So when we talk about, people talk about doing these diets, or I'm going to do this diet, and they have a plan. I'm only going to do it for this period of time. But that's not going to help you, because once you achieve what you can achieve in a month, then you go back to your old way of doing things and everything goes back to the same. So in order to continue on this life transformation, we have to create new habits that are sustainable for the rest of our life. And just because you create a habit doesn't mean it's something that was going to stick for a lifetime. You might try something and then realize this isn't for me. And then you try something else. And you're like, I can do this. And then try something else. And then you just, you just keep trying different things, and you figure out what works for you. So in many circles, I've heard this called self-actualization or self-realization. You're realizing for yourself through testing of different modalities, testing of different things, different habits. You're figuring out what works for you, because everyone's different. This is the process. This is constant improvement. What's up, Myra? So you get any of you guys who have questions about money, the pricing for the procedure, the first step you should look into is doing that quick quote. You're going to simply put your basic information in there, and it'll give you a quote based off of your BMI, which is a representation of the volume or the amount of fat that we would have to remove. And so we give you a basic quote. And if you're serious, if you like the quote, you think it's reasonable, and you want to move forward, the next step then is getting your consultation, a formal consultation. And that'll be 15 to 30-minute conversation with myself or Kale. We can discuss any questions that you might have, and get you ready and create a plan for your success. Claudia, what's the price to do the arms? Claudia, it's really easy. Just go to the quick quote. Since I don't know you personally, I can't give you the price because it's a little bit different for everybody. And we bases our pricing off of the BMI, which categorizes individuals, and it's kind of like the stepping scale of our fees. So just go to the quick quote, and there's just quick and easy. You can just a few selections, and you can get the pricing for the arms. But the other thing I want to talk about is going on that quick quote. I've included so much information. It's so rich with information. There's a frequently asked questions section where you can see how I've answered written questions, and then there's also the video section, which I've done 10 or 12 videos of just some of the frequently asked questions and just more in-depth explanations. And you'll get to see how I describe these things and get a better understanding of how we do things and why we do things. What's up, Anna Roof? Donna Benton. Valera. Yeah, it's been a little slow on Instagram. Where you guys at? Okay, Maria says, I'm scared of blood clots, but been wanting this for years. So, blood clots is, first of all, you have to figure out a way to get over your fears. Just because blood clot is a potential risk doesn't mean that it's something that should stop you. You should think of it as a caution sign instead of a stop sign. And the reason is because, first of all, the incidence of blood clots is very, very low. So it's not very common. And there's also ways to reduce the risk to ensure that it doesn't happen for you. So how do you do that? Blood clots, they form typically in the calf area, and it's from being sedentary. So if you're not sedentary, it's highly unlikely that you're going to get a blood clot. So if you're up walking around every hour or so, you're going to be much lower risk for getting a blood clot. Using compression stockings after the procedure will further reduce the risks of blood clot. But the big thing is just walking around. If you're walking around, it's not likely that you're going to get a blood clot. The people that get those are usually the older individuals that are at a higher risk to begin with, and those that are going to be sedentary afterwards. So that might be driving or flying afterwards. That puts you at a higher risk. So if you do choose to drive or fly afterwards, you just got to stop and walk around regularly. Okay, what the percentage of people develop blood clots or infection? I don't know the specific percentage. But I know the national average for all procedures for infection, they say, is about 1%. So it's a basic. So that means like 1 in 100 people will get an infection. But we may see that in people more so in individuals who are at a higher risk. So the higher risk people are those that larger individuals that are maybe you're diabetic or pre-diabetic. You're at a much higher risk for healing issues. So that like the wound issues, they don't heal as quickly, and when you have open wounds, you're at a higher risk for infection. So again, it's not a stop sign, it's a caution signal. So with the concern of infection is what can you do to decrease the risk of infection? So that's keeping everything clean and dry meticulously, right? Keeping everything clean and away from irritation. What happens with these garments, sometimes these garments move and they cause irritation on these wounds, which opens them up and gets them at a higher risk for infection. Okay, Gerardo says he's made an appointment. What's your availability for surgery? You got to call our office. I don't know that stuff offhand. How many areas can I have done in one day? Angie, if you check out our quick quote, I've broken it down to, 3 sections of the body, like the upper body, the midsection, and the lower body. Each of those packages that I've created are meant to be the maximum amount we can do for an individual in a single day. So when we say maximum, I'm going to get the maximum amount of fat out that we can get. We're going to push the limits and get as much out as we can in the treatment areas that I've identified and created for these packages. All right. Okay, how many abs liposuctions do you do? Like total? A lot. I mean, out of 15,000, abdomen liposuction is probably the most popular. And granted, keep in mind, I've been saying 15,000 for years, so it's probably way more than 15,000 now. But it just sounds like a nice even number. So 15,000 procedures. Let's say, 60% of the patients are abdomen, maybe. You can do the math on that. That's a lot of procedures. Okay, you look very tired. Well, that's rude. Maybe I'm not hydrated well enough today. I just did my cryotherapy treatment. I don't know if that makes any difference. But I don't feel tired. I feel full of energy, full of life. How many liposuctions do you allow? I don't know what that means. Okay, I've gained weight again, upper and lower abdomen. Okay. So, this is something, Miss Rockstar T, this is why I say the importance of changing the lifestyle habits for the long-term benefits of this. It would suck to pay thousands of dollars to get this procedure now, only to need it again or feel like you need it again, 2 or 3 years later because you gained, 20 or 30 pounds. And believe it or not, I have lots of people that do that, and I have over the years, which drives me nuts. I hate seeing that happen because it's like it just, essentially all my patients are walking billboards. When I do a procedure, I want you to be the best of the best of the best, because then for years to come, if anybody ever says, well, how did you make your change? I want you to be able to say, My Shape Lipo helped me. That was the first start, and pushed me along the process. And I want that. That's what helps my business. If I can get that, then our business is going to thrive and I'll be happy. Okay, my fear is holding me back, and that's something I need to work on. Thank you, Maria. It's fear is what holds everybody back, me included. And it's not something that you get over. It's something that you work on the rest of your life. It's a constant improvement, and sometimes you're gonna, it doesn't work out, and sometimes it does for you. And as with all these rules and these habits and these things that I'll discuss is I discuss the ideal, and you work to focus your mind on the ideal and try to achieve it, and with full acknowledgement that the ideal is not necessarily possible, but you're moving towards it. So you want to move towards perfection and realization that you're not necessarily going to get there, but you just keep trying to get better and better. Oh, you need a touch-up. So revision, liposuction, that's something that's definitely possible. So many, I don't know if Rockstar T, are you a previous patient of ours? Because in most cases, particularly on the front of the abdomen, we're very aggressive at removing the fat. So when you come back the second time to try to remove fat from an area that has been aggressively liposuction, it's usually not a good situation. Unless there's a lot of fat left behind, which it's possible. I just don't see it a lot with my patients. But if you've had liposuction elsewhere and they didn't get out enough fat, then clearly we can help out with something like that. Yeah, COVID. All right, Rockstar T, we can help you out. Okay, D Baby, you have a question. Shoot. Okay, Yvette says, is there a BMI requirement? So you'll notice that in the quick quote, if you go through that, we are calculating your BMI, but that's not utilized to restrict you. It's rather utilized to categorize you and give you a quote. So we don't restrict you. However, when we get to the higher BMI stuff, like over 45, so that's, first of all, we're treating people that everybody turns away. If you're anywhere over 27, 28 BMI, most doctors won't even touch you and they won't even consider doing liposuction on you. But that's the majority of our patients. Okay, so we're helping the majority of people that are getting passed over by these other places. And not only are we helping these people, but we're doing phenomenal work here and really changing these people's lives. So it's super exciting. Do you think cryotherapy treatment helps with reduction of swelling? Absolutely, absolutely. So I did the cryotherapy, which was like I went to an office and got into this like machine where you stand in there and they like this white smoke comes into the room and it freezes you, right? For 4 minutes you stand in this stuff. So it was cold, wasn't that bad. You can survive it. Ice also works. So if you're just laying on your stomach or on your back and you want to put ice around you, like when you're in a hotel or something like that, ice is great as well. And it's more focused cold. You have to do it for longer though, because it doesn't penetrate as quickly. But it'll definitely help after a procedure like this. And again, I also suggest doing the hyperbaric chambers, which is oxygen therapy. Okay. Yeah, Rockstar T says I'm less than 28 BMI. So yeah, just go check out the quick quote so you can get that stuff there, or just call the office. If you're a previous patient of ours, just call the office and they can help you out. Because we should have pictures of you already, but we want to see probably updated stuff if you've been gaining weight. What's up, Tracy on YouTube? Okay, D Baby. All right. If I need a tummy tuck, will you still be able to do lipo and fat transfer to the buttocks? Yeah, so what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to save the individuals from getting a tummy tuck. So in most cases, our patients don't need a tummy tuck after getting the liposuction. However, if that's what you desire, if you want to get this skin cut away, you want it to be pulled as tight as possible, the results are going to be way better after liposuction. When they do tummy tuck before you get liposuction and they try to do the liposuction with the tummy tuck, the results are and we end up having to fix a lot of those results afterwards. So get liposuction. Hopefully you avoid the tummy tuck. If you still desire to have tighter skin and that thing, then you can always get a tummy tuck afterwards. Okay, Rockstar asks if I'm a date available in June. I don't know, probably. Just call our office. Okay. Do we offer payment plans? So payment plans, there's a finance company that we deal with, as well as there's it's essentially like a layaway type plan for liposuction where you can make monthly payments and we hold the money, then when you're paid in full, we can go ahead and move forward with the procedure. That helps people kind of set goals and save up over time. Okay. So Rockstar, we're going to be treating the same thing as we treated before, and you got to start asking yourself, why did this happen, right? And if the fat was removed the first time, which I'm pretty darn good at what I do, then you got to start asking, okay, why did you get bigger? And you have to figure out in your lifestyle what you're doing that is leading you to continue to gain weight. Because if you don't change that, then treating it with liposuction is not really going to solve the problem. It's going to kick the can down the road. So you have to solve the problem, and then we can address the physical stuff and get the liposuction and solve that issue. But if you got to solve the lifestyle issues to ensure long-term benefit. You say you don't work out. It's not even really about working out. I'll be honest with you. You can't outwork out a bad diet. If you have a bad diet, it doesn't matter how much you work out. And if you have a good diet, it really doesn't matter how much you work out. You don't have to work out that much. Working out is more of a functionality type thing where it's keeping you strong, it's keeping you healthy, it's keeping your mobility. Working out is for strength, whereas staying the fat content in your body and your health, as far as your viability and your vitality, is going to come from the food that you eat. And if you're eating food that is leading your body into gaining weight, then it's inevitable. It's almost like you're just set on a path that if you're gaining weight slowly, it's inevitable that you're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you stay alive for decades, you're just going to blow up like a balloon, slowly. And it'll happen slowly to the point where you won't even realize. Then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, holy shit, what happened to me? I'm huge. I can't move. I can't do anything. I'm out of breath. And oh my gosh, that my high blood pressure, my diabetes, and all these issues. And you're like, oh my God, I got to change this. And that's the point. That's the point where I want you to come here. When you are ready to change, you're so sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're ready to change and do a life transformation and change everything in your life. You got to be committed. It's committed. And now liposuction helps commit you financially. Like, now you got skin in the game, right? You're putting money into this and money and investing in yourself. And it's a big deal now because you're realizing that you have to change. And we can help you change quickly through the liposuction. We get you that physical aspect. We get you to see yourself differently. It increases your confidence, so you fit in your clothes better. You're smaller, you have more energy. All these benefits. And then you start improving every other aspect of your life. And when you start doing that, that's when the magic really starts happening. Because what's the point in looking better if you still have low self-esteem? What's the point in fitting into these nice clothes if you're still embarrassed all the time? So you have to start working on your mindset and your mentality and how to change that in order to get and feel and act like this new person. So this is Rebecca Rexrow, and you can see, the way that she looked previous is not even nearly what she looks like now. She's professional. This is a professional individual. This is not. And so, you act and when you act differently, when you look differently, people start treating you differently. And that's kind of how this magic works, is that it starts from within you. We can change the outside, but if you don't change the inside, then nobody else will see it. They'll see these changes, but if you still have those same insecurities, they'll see those. So you got to start changing these things in your life and setting these habits in place, which will make you better. And as you get better, the confidence rises, the whole thing rises, everything gets higher. Okay, what's the recovery house? So the recovery house, if you're part of the private Facebook group, Lexi's the one that runs the recovery house. It's a nice deal that she's given us. For $1,250, you can do, it's a 3-night stay, 4 days. So you come in the day before the procedure, get checked in, and you're gonna stay 48 hours after the procedure. It'll include a couple of massages, your secondary garment. It includes transportation to and from the airport, as well as to and from our office. It's food. I mean, it's like all inclusive. It's like, if you don't want to think, you just want to, here's the money and everything's taken care of for you. It's a great deal. Highly suggest. And Lexi's awesome. She'll help you along the whole process, and it's just having another person who's knowledgeable, and she's right there for you. Yeah, Rockstar T, obviously I don't know everything about you. I speak in generalities with these things. I've seen a lot of people, so I try and utilize these stories to connect with individuals who might have similar issues. Okay, Lily Garcia said I had lipo, and I guess it was too deep, and they left me scars with your smart lipo. Would that be able to decrease? Lily, I don't know with the words that you're utilizing here, leave me to, I'm not sure what to think of your situation. So when you say they did liposuction too deep and it left scars, I don't know exactly what that means. So I don't want to give you the wrong information. And clearly this is a situation where you should set up a formal consultation so I can evaluate the whole situation. We can discuss, because I have a lot of questions for you. With that said, I've done a lot of revisions, and I have techniques to deal with a lot of scar tissue. It's, over the years, there's probably been only like 2 or 3 individuals that I wasn't able to make it better, just because there's way too much scar tissue. But if things are jiggly and there's fat there, most of the time I can make a difference. If it's tight and bunch of scarred down adhesive tissue, that can be a little bit more challenging. So again, set up the virtual consultation, the formal consultation, and we can figure this out for you. I'm sure we can help though. Okay. Oh, thank you. You said the price point is super reasonable. That's good. I'm glad you guys appreciate that. So, look, my goal here is that I want to help as many people that are right at that cusp of changing and transforming their life. So I want to make this available to those people as much as possible, and this is why I'm doing this. I want to help as many people as possible transition across this life transformation and share their journey, because when they can share the journey, it just attracts more people. And we focus on this stuff that's going to attract more people for the same reason. And these are fun stories to see. And if you join the group, you're gonna see some really cool stories. And not only that, once you attain your success, you're going to then become the individual that perpetuates this whole process. You're going to be the mentor to the new people coming in, because it's exciting for you, and you got to pour out your knowledge and information. You just gained all this knowledge and information from the whole process and talking to other people, and now that you have that, you have to give it out. You have to give it away to other people and help make their life better. Real talk. Right on. Okay. All right. So Maria says I plan on paying extra for the recovery house. That's awesome. Just make sure you mention that when you schedule the procedure at the office. What's the Facebook group name? It's the My Shape Lipo Support Group. So you're just going to go onto groups on the Facebook and My Shape Lipo Support Group. All right. Marie says, good evening. I have a question. I have a hernia. Is it safe to still do 360 lipo? So 360 lipo, absolutely, it's possible. It's just a matter, the hernia is, if it's needs to be repaired, you should get it repaired. If it doesn't need to be repaired, then we can work around it. There are different techniques that we utilize to ensure safety with hernias. However, it's always a risk, so you have to be aware that there is a risk, and we'll do our best to avoid things, right? But there is a risk. And how do we do it? It's super simple. This is not rocket science right here. So a hernia is a little hole in the intestinal wall, or the muscle wall. And so the intestines will then pooch out through it, and then you'll get like a bulge, and you'll see like a little bulge in your belly or somewhere, usually right around the belly button, little bulge. And so what we do during the liposuction is we literally we go in that hole. I'll literally just stick my finger around, and then I can do the liposuction all around my finger, because essentially I push the abdominal wall below the muscle, which makes it impossible for the instrument to hit it. Simple, it's easy, it makes sense, right? And I haven't had any problems with doing that technique. Okay, Jennifer says, I did the quick quote. I want to do upper back as well. I didn't see a place for that. Can that be added with waist and abdomen in the same day? And so, Jennifer, the reason why we didn't give the option is it's not recommended for most people. For most people. And here's the thing: is those packages were created specifically so we can do the maximum amount. And the maximum means that we're getting the maximum amount of fat out, as well as utilizing the maximum amount of numbing fluid. So when you try to expand and push beyond those areas, so a lot of girls say, I want to do 360 lipo, my arms and my upper back, and like, man, that's how people get in trouble. That's why people are, you see that's the bad stuff you see out there. When people are having lots of problems after liposuction, they're laid up, or it takes them weeks or months to recover. It pushes your body to the edge of surviving, and I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that. We can still get awesome results while keeping you safe and keep things moving. So, Jennifer, if you're serious, you see what the prices are. If those prices seem reasonable to you, then do the formal consultation. And at the formal consultation, we can discuss, and I can look at your pictures and I can tell you exactly what I think. I'll give you the numbers because I can calculate the numbers. All this stuff is calculated. So we can calculate everything. I can show you exactly why we make the decisions that we make, and what the concerns are and what the risks are after the procedure. And then we can make the decisions together. And it's everybody has this different level of risk. Some people are like, oh, I'm flying in from out of state, I want to get everything done. And on contrast, I had a lady that was local here, and she says, you know what, I don't handle things very well. I'm a total wimp. So I want to make things smaller, smaller procedures, so I can handle it better. So okay, that's cool. That's for her. That might not be the same for other people, but it is for her. So Jennifer, short answer: get the formal consultation. If you like the prices that you've seen and those seem reasonable, then let's do the formal consultation, and we'll figure out a real plan for you. Can I fix it while I have Lipo 360? I don't know what that means exactly. Okay, Euridia says, what's your highest BMI you guys do? It's really, when we get to the higher BMIs, it's a big judgment call, and I don't know the right answer, to be honest with you. And part of that is going to be the patient's level of risk, their health. But we do some very large individuals, as you see, behind me. We get some big patients. But we make a big dramatic change, and man, when you change these people's lives, it's amazing. It's so awesome. It's so much fun. So if you're worried about the big BMIs, first of all, we're super aggressive. You came to the right place. We're the ones that are gonna help you and get you the best results. So especially if you're over the BMI of 45, we need to do those formal consultations. Those are where there's a lot of variabilities and like distribution of fat. So when you get to your BMIs are much higher, the distribution of fat is widely different. Some people carry everything on the lower body. Some people carry everything in the midsection. Some people carry it all in the upper body. And so our decisions and pricing is going to fluctuate based off of how you carry, because it can be a huge wide difference. And ultimately we just need to keep things safe for you. Okay, can you get the 360 lipo with fibroids? So fibroids, yeah, it's possible. We would if any of these medical concerns, if it's first of all, it's things that need to be controlled medically, like diabetes and hypertension. Those things just need to be controlled with medication. If they are, then the procedure, we can move forward with it. Fibroids, if there's any question, we're gonna consult with your treating physician to see if they have any problems with it, because they know more information about you than we do. Okay, how many pounds of fat do you take out in one session? We don't measure in pounds, we measure in volume. We get a lot out, but I wouldn't focus on any of that stuff because that's not really that important. The focus should be on the results, and you see the results that we get. And if I tell you we take out 100 million liters out of each person, it's really irrelevant because we're going to take out whatever we have to take out for you. And your body's going to be different than someone else's body, but it's really the results that we're looking for. I go until we get these results, and that might be, 1 liter, that might be 10 liters. We do whatever is necessary while keeping you safe. And again, it's the primary goal. Is we have to keep everything safe. Okay, serious. All right. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna get caught up here on Instagram. Okay, Rockstar says she had inner thighs, upper and lower abdomen, fat in chin, upper back. It was awful. That sounds like it's all over the place. I don't like doing procedures like that. That's why I like to focus on, just the midsection and try and, the energy needs to be focused in that area, or just the upper body or just the lower body. I think we get much better results. Okay, if I have anemia, am I still able to have lipo? Yeah, it's absolutely possible. We just need to build up your blood supply or blood cells. Okay. All right, we're going to be changing out here soon. Okay, can you transfer fat to the breast? Do the results look good after? Absolutely. Lily, go check out our group. In the private group, you may be able to see more pictures. We just can't post that stuff here on Facebook. They censor us. So go to the group, My Shape Lipo Support Group on Facebook, and you can ask individuals there. There's also some pictures on our website. The fat transfer. The fat transfer is an awesome procedure, and it's going to get you a natural enhancement, looks and feel. I did it for my wife. The looks and feels natural. Okay. How fast can you get a BBL after a gastric sleeve? Any people that are asking for speed, I gotta like pump the brakes and you gotta start wondering, why are you trying to go so fast? Because this is a long journey. It's not get your problem solved and on to the next thing. If you got to change your lifestyle habits, and especially if you're doing something like a sleeve. If the sleeve is essentially going to put you in a nutrient poor environment where you're just not getting enough nutrients, which can affect your health. So jumping into doing another procedure right away may not be in your best interest. And again, my goal here is to help you transcend these problems and get to a place where you feel better about yourself and you're living your best life. So we certainly don't want to get you in a situation where it's not right for you. So after the gastric sleeve, the typical answer is 6 months would be the time to wait for after a procedure like that. But again, start focusing wherever you are. Start focusing on changing your lifestyle habits and improving and getting good habits into your life, and you have better patterns. Okay, can you say once more how you numb for the procedure? Yeah, so the procedure, everything's done under local anesthetic. It's called a tumescent technique. Tumescent refers to the injection of the numbing fluid into the fat layer. So we inject this fluid into the local area. So if we're treating the abdomen, we inject it just into that local area, where then we can go and remove the fat while you're awake. Super cool. And if you're having any pain while we're doing this, we just add more numbing fluid. It's just like if you go to the dentist and you say, "Oh, it hurts back there." Okay, cool. They go back and put some more numbing medication, and same process. All right. Well, thank you very much for jumping on here today. I appreciate you. And if you have any other questions, you can always call our office, and we will be back here again next week. If you're ready to move forward, your next step is getting that quick quote, where you can get that basic quote, and so you know how much it's going to cost. And then when you're ready, the next step after that, in order to get a procedure, you want to do another formal consultations. We're going to speak to myself or Kale directly. We can determine a plan for you and get you moving forward. Let's see, Paula, I want to say this. Paula says, I'm 5 years out on the sleeve, and 10 months ago I started having issues with my body not absorbing my daily vitamins, drastically dropping my iron, take your time and be safe. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you got. It's look. This is all about safety, and it scares me when people are like, "I got to get it as soon as possible," and it's like, it doesn't have to be like that. This is your journey, and if you're better in a year, it doesn't matter whether it was if you got better in 6 months. If it takes longer, it doesn't really matter. It's just, just do it safely. Whatever you're doing, let's do it safely, and let's do it so where it's sustainable, so where you can continue to advance and grow and become the best version of yourself. But if you do it too fast and you make a stupid mistake, these things are not easily undone. It's not like you go get liposuction and be like, oh, 2 months later, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Well, I'm sorry. That sucks. Don't make decisions too rash, too quickly. You gotta make it based off of that's why we're here talking to people. That's why we're trying to give you as much information as possible. That's why, we want you to be well informed. That's why we want you to communicate with our previous patients. We're doing this so you don't make stupid decisions. We only want happy people. And so we're trying to create these life transformation situations for you because we've done it before and we're just guiding you down the path. So thank you again for coming. I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.